it's your boy, the reviewer, with another review and another episode. Today we'll be analysing Aunt's Brush with Fame with special guest Dr Charlie Teo, and we'll be critiquing and analysing an episode from Aunt's Brush with Fame episode, and to explore more into life of Dr Teo. Welcome back to my channel. Two things first that you gotta do. You gotta smash that like button and hit that subscribe button and the bell to stay up for future videos. We will critique the episode and analyse how Dr Teo is a significant Australian and an emblem of Australian identity. Today we'll explore how this is done through the language choices and look into the questions which aren't asked and the response given by Dr Teo, and examine the visual and film technique such as lighting, music, sound and camera work, and unpack his personal life and how his actions have made him a significant Australian. In this new and exciting episode with Dr. Charlie Teo, it kicks off with an introduction about himself. In the introduction, it uses a number of diverse photos of Dr. Teo and even the ones of him doing surgery on a patient, giving us a look into his life of a neurosurgeon. Arn explains to the audience that the purpose of the show is to unpack the lives of key Australian people and to see what their personalities are like. In the background, a rock-type beat is playing, which tells the audience that the show is about to start, and it gives a cheerful, uplifting and an overall comfortable mood. At the start of the interview, it cuts straight to Dr. Teo, showing us that he will be the main protagonist in this episode. It starts off as a wide-angle shot which includes Dr. Teo sitting in a bright yellow chair, and in the background you can see some of Arn's other different paintings of other people that Arn has interviewed. The interview continues, and Dr. Teo points at one of the paintings on his walls and asks, "Did you win?" And Arn responds with no, but Arn asks if Dr. Teo likes winning. Dr. Teo responds with "shit yeah," by saying that gives an insight into his life about him being passionate about winning and the use of swearing. Furthermore, through the response we understand that Dr. Teo had a tough upbringing through his father and even through school for being Asian in an Australian private school, and even being an Asian living in Australia. Listening to the dialogue, we understand that Dr. Teo's father wasn't very present in his life, but his mother was a major force in his life for his upbringing. While talking about his upbringing, close-up shots were being used on Dr. Teo's face, and photos from his childhood started playing, and some angelic music going with the overall mood. Dr. Teo moves on and starts talking about who his major role models in his life was. Ended up being Bruce Lee, and he explains that he demonstrated the level of excellence that you can achieve through hard work and tenacity. This is one of the things that he took on board, and this is what he loved about Bruce Lee. Furthermore, in the review, Arn brings up a sensitive question about what is it like when you lose someone? The mood in the building changes all of a sudden. Every other question Arn would ask, Dr. Teo would answer with a laughter, with a smile, but in this case, he answered the question respectfully and even gave us an example of a patient which he had operated on. Dr. Teo discusses about how tough it is when you lose a patient on the operating table. During the time that Dr. Teo was explaining about one of his patients, angelic sad music was playing in the background while showing photos of a young lady which he operated on. Dr. Teo furthermore explains that he likes to create a close relationship with all his patients to keep a connection. The use of camera was a wide shot angle and with many close-up shots for intensity. Dr. Teo is a significant Australian due to his courageous act in saving many Australian lives by operating on non-operable brain tumours. At the start of his career, most of his colleagues thought that he was mental for doing these operations, but as time goes by, Dr. Teo showed to Australia and the rest of the world that anything is possible if you put your mind to this, and this is why he is the most respected neurosurgeon and a significant Australian. That will conclude today's episode of The Reviewer. I hope you enjoyed this episode and to unravel the life of Dr. Teo on Arn's Brush with Fame. I hope you learned something new about Dr. Teo and how he's a significant Australian and how he plays a big part in some other individuals' lives. I believe that this episode was highly enjoyable, and it showed us a side of Dr. Teo that not many people can enjoy and see. He certainly is a role model for the younger generation, and to prove that nothing is impossible with grit and determination, you can beat all the odds. I'll see you for another video next week. Make sure you like and subscribe for more episodes like these.
Woo! Hey. I do it for love. I do it for the love, yes I do. So you don't care about the money, well yes it's true. And I'm so blessed to be fulfilling my destiny.